Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the Country Music Time Machine. It's a place where we love just reliving those years of country music history by going back in time and enjoying some great memories. Howdy, I'm your host, Kevin, and if you love country music, please consider subscribing to this channel, like this video, and tell all your friends about us. It seems nowadays that the main theme of shows on TV is about the police. Lots of police shows, and even probably too many shows, and I'm so tired of them, about zombies.
I know how they must sound. The dead people, the walkers.
While it doesn't happen often, history has given us quite a few country-themed TV shows that we just love. Some were westerns and some were shows about great country living. So right now, let's feature some of the best shows and especially some of the best theme songs. You know, when I was brainstorming for this episode, the first TV show that came to mind was one I watched on the old reruns for years. This TV show's theme song is permanently stuck in my head. I just can't get it out. Green Acres is the place to be.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
Green Acres came out in 1965 and had great ratings, even though it was canceled by CBS in 1971 after they got tired of those country-themed TV shows. They called it back in the day the Rural Purge, and it eliminated many great TV shows. Starring Eddie Albert and Ava Gabor, it was a country classic.
Times Square.
You are my wife.
Goodbye, city life.
Green Acres, we are there.
The next great TV show was also a product of the 60s and was on my TV every afternoon after school. Sorry, Sesame Street, it was not you.
Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars. The Beverly Hillbillies.
The Beverly Hillbillies was one of the funniest TV shows of all time, and it kicked off in 1961 and ran until 1971, where, of course, you know, it was purged. This show was so good that most of the cast became typecast, and they could not get another good TV job. But we all remember Jed Clampett, Granny, Jethro, Ellie Mae, and we love that theme song performed by the Foggy Mountain Boys, led by Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs.
Well, now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. And they would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now. Here?
Now it's time to head to the Shady Rest Hotel for a stay in Hooterville. No, not that Hooterville. This Hooterville was the home of Petticoat Junction. This was a spinoff from that great Green Acres TV show that I mentioned earlier. So let's enjoy this incredibly great TV theme song.
Come ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It would probably take a series of episodes to cover all the great westerns that used to be on TV. Yep, my grandpa just loved Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke was probably my favorite too. It ran from 1955 till 1975. That's 635 total episodes if you are counting. Gunsmoke was the longest-running TV show in history before it was dethroned by The Simpsons.
Eat my shorts.
All right, I'll eat your shorts.
And if you loved westerns in the 60s, you loved Bonanza. It ran from 59 to 1973, and we all love the Cartwrights. Ben, Adam, Hoss, and Little Joe. We continue running down some of the best country-themed TV shows in history. And honestly, I'd already recorded this episode, edited it, it was ready to go, but after I did that, I got a message from the Country Music Time Machine historian Joshua Johns. He mentioned some great TV shows that I should include in this episode. As is often the case, Josh's ideas are even better than mine. So here is a TV show that features the great character of John Boy. We all loved John Boy. The Waltons was about a country family and their life in Western Virginia in the Depression era of the 1930s. That's when it started out. It ran from 72 to 1980, and we will always love and remember that opening theme of the show. But what always stays in my mind about the Waltons was this. The show's closing. Good night, John Boy.
Everybody quiet down now and get some sleep.
Night, everybody.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Ben.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Good night, children.
Good night, Daddy. Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Jim Bob. Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.
What's going on? I was asleep. What's everybody doing?
Good night.
Good night, Jim Bob. Go to sleep.
And what did Richard Thomas think about the Good Night John Boy segment?
What can you say about it? It's a hideously overused word, but it's some sort of an iconic thing. You know, it's identifiable, and because I'm John Boy, Good Night John Boy has always been with me, and I love it. If I hadn't felt the way I felt about the show, there would probably still be some weirdness around that, but in truth, it's nothing but wonderful. So it's a pleasure. I enjoy it now. I take a lot of pleasure in it.
They just don't make great shows like that anymore. The next one that should be included in this episode that my pal Joshua reminded me about comes from my other pal, John Schneider. You see here in this picture with me. The Dukes of Hazzard was a fun show, and it ran from 1979 to 1985. And of course, we love that theme song. You know it, with Waylon Jennings.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
At the time it was out, The Dukes of Hazzard was not super controversial, but I guess the world changed, and now it is probably one of the most debated shows on TV, mainly because they used the rebel flag on the roof of that beautiful Dodge Charger. A few years ago, Bo Duke, John Schneider, addressed the controversy of the flag on the show Daily Blast Live.
When somebody tells me what it means to me, that bothers me. Okay, so I don't try to tell people what it means. I love that you called it the rebel flag because, in fact, the Confederate flag looks entirely different than the flag that's on the General Lee. So I ask them to remember the feelings they had with their grandparents, with their parents about the show. My issue is when people say because that flag was on the car, that show is therefore a racist show. And that bothers me in my soul. So I try to have a conversation. I tell people what it meant to me when I was a kid. It means fighting the system to me. It means people of all races and all colors and all socioeconomic backgrounds gathering together against something that is oppressing them, regardless of who they are. That's what it means to me.
Thanks so much, John. If you were to ask most people what their favorite country variety show was, I think most people would say Hee Haw.
Welcome to Hee Haw, starring Buck Owens and Roy Clark.
I'm Buck. I'm Roy. Let's go.
We enjoyed watching Hee Haw starting in 1969. It ran on various networks until 1997. So let's head over to Cornfield County with Hee Haw.
Hey, Grandpa, what's for supper?
Well, tonight you're really in for a treat. I've got 3 kinds of pie and 3 kinds of meat and 4 kinds of vegetables and 5 kinds of drinks. Even Junior will get full for once, don't you think?
Yeah!
Grandpa didn't believe in flying saucers until he tripped a waitress.
But not all great country-themed TV shows were from the old days. Even though it was a little violent, I really enjoyed the TV show Justified. It starred Timothy Oliphant and one of the greatest actors to come out recently, Walton Goggins.
As an owner of Walton Goggins goggle glasses, I know how to make slick-looking goggle/glasses. But I have no idea how to make slick social media-styled stuff to sell it.
So all I had to do was upload a video of me and my pretty face, and voila.
Walton Goggins goggle glasses are great gifts for all guys and gals. Try saying that 10 times fast.
Justified came out in 2010 and ran for 6 seasons on the original run. The series revolves around the inhabitants and culture in the Appalachians Mountain area of eastern Kentucky, specifically Harlan County, where many of the main characters grew up. If you never watched it, you should check it out. And finally, if you were to crown the best ever country-themed TV show, what do you think it would be? A TV show that possibly should be required viewing in a public school? I would give that crown to the Andy Griffith Show.
I say this calls for action, and now, nip it in the bud. First sign of youngsters going wrong, you got to nip it in the bud. Nip it. You go read any book you want on the subject of child discipline, and you'll find that every one of them is in favor of bud nipping.
Take care of it.
Only one way to take care of it.
Nip it.
In the bud.
The Andy Griffith Show ran from 1960 to 68. That's 249 episodes. Not only was it one of the funniest TV shows of all time, but it also taught us some important lessons about life.
Well, Sheriff, maybe I do look at things differently than other people. Is that wrong? I live by my wits. I'm not above bending the law now and then to keep clothes on my back or food in my stomach. I live the kind of life that other people would just love to live if they only had the courage. Who's to say that the boy would be happier your way or mine? Why not let him decide?
No, I'm afraid it don't work that way. You can't let a young'un decide for himself. He'll grab at the first flashy thing with shiny ribbons on it. Then when he finds out there's a hook in it, it's too late. The wrong ideas come packaged with so much glitter, it's hard to convince them that other things might be better in the long run. And all a parent can do is say, wait, trust me, and try to keep temptation away.
That means that you're inviting me to leave.
That's right.
Well, you're wearing a badge, so I leave. That wasn't so difficult. Your problem solved.
That's where you're wrong. That boy thinks just about everything you do is perfect. So my problem's just beginning. You've left behind an awful lot of unscrambling to be done.
Now look, Sheriff.
Goodbye, Mr. Dave.
But could the best country-themed TV show theme song of all time also be the most simple? As I close this episode, let's enjoy that whistling theme song from The Andy Griffith Show. Until next time, this is Kevin. Let's keep it country.
This has been a Filmways presentation.